should we go into our friend, Mr. Ryan Pace now?
Yeah, I think
regarding
so.
this.
I think
Okay.
so. I
Do
think
you want
so.
to rail? Do you want to just go, bro?
Well, what the hell was he doing? That was the problem. I mean, so let me get this straight. He decided to not even meet with or barely meet with or see Deshaun Watson and instead picked a guy in Mitch Trubisky who couldn't even beat out the starting position from Marquise Williams, who's not even an NFL quarterback.
I think that's his last name.
Yet this is the guy that we were certain was going to lead an NFL team.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had one season as a college quarterback.
One season.
Who?
No. Yeah. He was 8-5.
8-5.
And he had some awful games.
And they lost the Sun Bowl too. So what?
Well, Ryan Pace, you know what he said? He said something. Every time Mitch got in the game, something positive happened. Well, every time Deshaun Watson got in the game, they won a title.
Yeah.
Like come on, man.
Who is he kidding with that statement? They were 8-5.
They were 8-5.
What is he talking about? Something great happens every time he steps on the field.
In one game, he went, it was during like a hurricane or advisory warnings. In one game, he was 13 for 33 for 52 yards. Mitch was.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it's just sad. It's just like when you pass, and we were talking about this, when you pass on a quarterback of this magnitude at number 2, and we'll get into all he gave up. Like when you pass though on something like that, it's over.
Right.
You can't like get another shot after that. I mean, right?
Well, in drafting a franchise quarterback,
yeah,
you have to be able to examine closely all of the top prospects, and the fact that Deshaun Watson was arguably was probably the top quarterback on many GM's lists. The fact that you didn't even bother to meet with the guy, I mean, tells me that this guy doesn't really know how to draft a quarterback at all. I mean, what more information do you need here? Holy crap.
Bro, I don't know what to say.
Okay.
All right. So real quick, do you think? All right. So a couple of things I thought about here. Ryan Pace's tunnel vision in this situation is the problem. I have an issue with his secrecy. You know that picture of him sneaking through the door? Mm-hmm. Like a door like mine right here?
Yeah, that's like a meme. That's a Bears
meme. That's a Bears meme. But, I mean, John Fox, until the morning of the draft, didn't even know they were drafting Trubisky. This was all like one big thing where Ryan Pace saw his guy and he had this conviction about him and he's not going to have any regrets, right? But this is the same shit as I'm having tunnel vision for Anthony Miller. And I'm going to trade a future second for Anthony Miller.
What's the
same deal with David Montgomery. I'm going to trade a future third for David Montgomery because he's my guy.
What is the problem with that? I don't understand. Why does he feel like he can't tell why is there this secrecy around these picks with him? I mean, why?
What do you think? What's in your mind?
Well, I don't like it at all because as an organization, you should have the support of the coach. You should have the support of the team president, the director of player personnel, the owner, the McCaskies. They should all be in on these picks. What is it with him like keeping things so close to the vest? These are picks that, I mean, the fans, oh gosh. I don't understand. I don't understand, Tim. I mean, this guy seems so well-spoken. He seems like the kind of guy who knows football, and yet he's acting.
But it's like a good mask, man.
Yeah, and he's acting like a baby. These are things that sneaky people do. I don't understand what's
think about it this way. So he made that trade, okay? So it was the number 3 pick, the number 67 pick in that draft, the number 101 pick or something, a 111 pick, a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, and a 3rd rounder next year.
Next year, right? So
yes.
4 picks total.
Yes. So
went to San Francisco.
Of those players, okay, number 67 ended up being a trade to New Orleans where Alvin Kamara was picked. But also several amazing receivers were on the board at that time. You had the ability to draft Cooper Kupp. You had the ability to draft Chris Godwin.
Oh.
You had the ability to draft Kenny Golladay.
Oh.
You had the ability to draft Kareem Hunt.
Oh,
you had the ability to draft James Conner. All right there. And then next year, so then the 4th rounder, that's fine because the Bears got Eddie Jackson and Tariq Cohen right around there. I'm fine with that. The 3rd rounder next year was the 49ers middle linebacker Fred Warner. One of the top middle linebackers in the And then around there, you know what? That was probably the best pick, but there were several other options at 70 the next year. I saw a couple, I forget, but they still got a cornerstone linebacker. So you lost out on 3 picks because you get calls during that day for teams that want to jump up to number 3 for a quarterback, and you're so anxious about getting your dude. You're so freaking anxious. After, one meeting with this dude and barely scouting him, you're so anxious you have to trade up. So pretty much you're saying, I don't want to be stuck with Mahomes or Watson. So bad that I have to trade up to get my dude.
I can't get past the fact that we could have had Deshaun Watson and Alvin Kamara. I mean, how different would our team have looked if we had those two? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we would be playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
That's enough. Ryan Pace has got to go. That's
all right. All right.
That's
so
enough.
All right. So this kind of goes into pointing to organizational incompetence. And I kind of, as I was talking to you last night, I want to read a couple quotes I got from a Dan Wiederer article that was awesome in the Tribune. From random sources, random execs, stating the Bears might soon make a similar journey seeking a new quarterback, perhaps in next spring's draft, possibly under a new GM and coach. Nothing short of the institutional breakdown, one league source says. You can't have that level of disconnect and that level lack of communication. As a GM, you're trying to put something like that. You're trying to pull something like that off. You better have Hall of Fame credentials or some kind of significant collateral. Ryan Pace has absolutely no collateral. And then continuing, only in an organization where there aren't proper checks and balances could that happen. There is no plausible way in the world that a decision of that magnitude wouldn't have been bounced off management and ownership. In a healthy organization, there's 0% chance that a decision of that magnitude would have been made without at least the head coach knowing. 0. That's a monumental moment for this franchise. Okay, so we're both actors. I'm trying to think of some sort of parallel. So let's say you're a producer for a major motion picture and your movies have failed time and time and time again. And you're with some studio where they're just like, yeah, you had success 10 years ago. You got a crap ton of money in your name. But if you F this up, you're done. Your reputation's done, whatever. And that lead actor is everything for this story. And there's people who have all these ideas. You got all these people around you, okay? No, I'm sorry. I messed that up. Brain. Okay. So let's just say you're a brand. Okay. So let's just say you're a major motion picture owner or whatever. And you have a very, very, very crucial movie that will decide the fate of your future. Okay? So then you bring in a producer who's brand new. But you had a consulting firm. You're trying to figure out this producer. You can't figure it on your own. You bring him in. So you have to pick a lead actor for your movie and you need to consult people, okay? In this situation, it's probably a terrible situation, son, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, you're that new producer. Are you just going to pick the lead actor on your own, even though it affects entire motion picture, whatever? Would you do that? Like, would you have that ability?
Well, yeah, absolutely not. I think you would have to have the backing of the studio. You
Yeah.
know, you would have to. It would have to be, you know, something done as a group, 100%. You know.
Same with like your wife's a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
the head of a hospital.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and going back into how Ryan Pace was able to pull this off, I don't understand how he was able to pull this off unless perhaps everybody thought he was the smartest guy in the room. Everybody thought that he was the guy with the answers. Everybody thought that, you know, he knew he had a very specific vision for the team and you know, he was able to get everybody on board. When the fact of the matter is maybe he was able to do all of this because we don't have football people in those positions to be able to push back a little bit to say
they
no.
had to get a search firm to get him.
Yeah,
there was a search firm, so they must have been like, "Oh, I trust you guys. He's good."
Oh gosh, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's probably it. They loved him. He was a sweet guy. They were like, "We'll trust you. We'll give you autonomy here."